I think I'll talk about that Mi5 agent I was telling you about. Did I say that at the start? About the Mi5 agent at Loveton Dairy. Infiltrated the bog side. So this is probably a threat to national security, this fucking podcast, but we're sharing it anyway for the kicks and lulls. But back in the day, there was this one called Annie, and she had a harsh British accent, and she moved onto the bog side, and everybody took her under her wing. Everybody was like, "Oh, this woman's really sound, like she's a really nice wee woman, hey." And she would talk to us, and we were all sound, and everybody got along with her, and she would come onto the mobile. Very friendly, lived there for a few years. Everybody didn't think nothing of it. Then the dead of night one time, she was dragged out of her house by Mi5 reportedly and taken away out of the fucking country because the IRA were going to fucking blow her head off because news got around that she was actually an Mi5 informant. And I'll tell you a story better than that there. Whenever fucking we were wings, we were all sitting around in our backyard, and it all made sense to me when you put two and two together after looking back in retrospect. She had all these family photos of her family in the past and the family and the picture frames, but the families looked like the pictures looked like they were done too professional for the time, like they were very like 1980s. Fucking butch guy with a bibby, you know, like the whole like soft focus, really professionally done. And I was all, "Who's that there, Annie?" And she was all, "Oh, that's my mother and father." And I was all, I didn't think nothing of it, but they looked like fucking pictures ripped out of a magazine. I was alright, didn't think nothing of it. And then she used to ask me about my father. "Why's your father in America, Paul?" And I'd be all, I don't know, couldn't answer questions. And she would get all us as wee ways, and she would all ask us questions about her parents and her families, and certain people would have been connected on the IRA or whatever. You not say nothing about that, but they would be asking them questions about it. And one of my friends, dad was high up in the fucking Ra, and his dad's dead now, but she would just always say to him, "Oh yeah, what happened there? Oh yeah, that's right," and I'll talk to him and all. And she was like a pure dodgy woman, but everybody thought she was sound as fuck. And one night when I was a wee boy, this is how I knew she was watching like a fucking hawk out that window, because one time when I was a wee lad, these two boys fucking stared at me, and I was only the guts of fucking 7 or 8 at the time. Maybe about 9 or 10, and these two boys stared at me, and fucking I was all and they're all slagging me about my dad. "Oh your dad doesn't know," like it was all this fucking juvenile shit really, and I was all whatever fucking. And then one thing led to another, and I pushed the boy, and the boy pushed me, and then the minute I pushed him back, boom, he just swooped me in the head, boom, hit me a big fucking boot in the face. I got a big sting, but see, the minute I got boot in the fist, all you heard was, "I fucking seen that fucking column, I fucking seen that." She was out like a fucking shot. Now, what that said to me was, she was watching that up until a point of actual danger, but then she probably was enforced by law to act if anybody is in a fucking dangerous zone where they could die. So she was probably watching that, me getting confronted by them as the whole way through, and then the minute I got whacked, she came straight out, had to do by law what was required of her. So that's where sort of cover was blown a few times. And she used to always be on the mobile listening. And then one time then, all the wee lads, like fucking boys my elder, I was a lot younger than them, but we were like snotter boxes, we were always running down the street. And one time we were down in the fucking in Glenfata Park, and all the Brits came in, and then next thing, two of the Brits fucking were on the buzzer, on the phone, on the radioing on, and she just went walking down to 4 or 5 of the Brits, and was all saying, "Yeah, I come from fucking West fucking Midlands and fucking all this, you know, you're good boys, but these boys are good boys as well. And she was trying to make out like she was sticking up for them all us. But they must have had some sort of fucking, I don't know, dialogue privately. I don't know what it was, but anyway, cut a long story short, something went on in higher sources and she was dragged out in the fucking dead of night. And I'll not say too much, but she used to fucking always ask me questions and say, yeah, that's strange, isn't it, Paul? And you know what I would notice about her too? See if we were ever talking improper or anything, she would try and act like she was a moral busybody and somehow give us guidance as if we weren't getting guidance in our own community. So she had a hidden backwards viewpoint off us, know what I mean? From where we came from. But it was all hidden. But she was shrewd, hey, and the way I think about it too, the way when she was at about in her 50s, 55, maybe 56, probably going on 60, she was worn out a bit. And but I was talking to a boy about this years later, and he said to me, yeah, it was probably her last big job, a big last hooray before she got her retirement. She would have been sent on to do a really fucking heavy job infiltrating the bog side and find out all information, because nobody had bugs or fuck all them days. They had to send somebody in. But what I loved the shrewdness of it was the fact that she had a British accent. They must have thought that would have been a great, they'd never suspect that somehow because she's British, you know, that would put a smoke screen or somehow, because she was just outright with it. Or I was thinking also the intelligence would probably be going, now you could slip living there long term, just use your British accent in case you do slip up, no that sort of way. But in the dead of night, I'd love to know where she is now. Probably dead, old bastard. But she was up there raising it, But as my friend told me about that, and that just showed you back in them days, Mi5, infiltration, coming at all angles, befriending you when you're a wee lad. They'll probably have a record in every one of us from them days. That's how much the Brits infiltrated fucking people here, like. They were living in your community, befriending you. And if they weren't befriending you, they were buying out people in your community and putting fucking shit over them. They fucking blackmail them. It's fucking mad.